first I'd like to thank you for this little interview, and I have to tell you that it's a great honor for us to have you here, because we think we have a legend.
Well, thank you.
Is it Eric Burdon or Eric Burdon?
Burdon.
Burdon?
Burdon.
It's France?
But nobody says, but yeah, I think it's a derivative of either French or Spanish, I'm not sure.
Okay. I said I feel like I have a legend in front of me, but do you feel a legend after all these years?
No, not really.
Not really.
I think it's a bit of a, I don't know, I can't take it seriously.
You can't take it seriously?
No.
Well, I have to say that I belong to your fans, the million or the billion of them. But I love the music of the Animals, but I think I did it on the wrong time, because we met it in Greece at the late 70s or the early 80s.
Yeah.
I guess that the party was over then, the rock party was over, the 60s party was over.
Well, yeah, I think that, you know, a lot of it was over in the place where it's began. Like, for instance, one jump away from the English rock thing, the California hippie movement that I was also around for. That was buried by the hippies who started it as early as 1965 or something. But then the rest of the world picked up on it.
You felt that change then, when the Sazes were changing? You felt the change of rock music?
Well, you know, both movements, both the English music movement and then the American West Coast movement, it started with such great ideals and a wonderful feeling of being a part of something. But it crashed really quickly too. Good things like that, as good as that, can't last.
Well, recently I've read your book, Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood.
Yeah.
And I've learned about your life. I thought that your life was a tale, but in the book seems like the hell. Was it a tale or a hell?
Was it
a tale or hail?
Hell.
Yeah, hell.
It was hell from time to time, but
I had good moments also.
Yeah, well, I mean, how can you know what's up if you haven't been down? You know, you must go down before you can.
To feel what good is, what up is.
Yeah,
I understand that.
It's the yin-yang concept.
Well, what the audience faces like a legend, like a myth, sometimes has a different side when you live it.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same when the concerts are over, when the lights shut down, or is it a lonely way to go after that in your what we call personal life?
Well, during the times when I used to get high a lot, you know, I smoked a lot of drugs.
Yeah, I know. But you don't smoke even cigarettes now, as I've learned.
I've never smoked cigarettes.
Oh, really?
I get sick from cigarettes. No. But you know, when life was a continual party, there was a lot more going on, a lot more to take up your time after the show. In fact, the show was just the beginning. When you got off stage, the party continued, you know. But now I just go back to my hotel and read or watch TV.
You don't like the parties anymore? Or you're too old for rock and roll?
I'm a little bored with it, you know. You get bored with the same questions, and everywhere you go, people want you to sign autographs, or they want you to, if you come into a club, they want you to get up and sing. I feel that it's much more, it's a job, now.
Yeah.
It always was a job. It's my job. It's what
a
I
little bit
do.
more professional now.
It has to be, otherwise you go down.
Yeah.
You know, way down.
And you stayed up for the States for maybe more than 30 years.
Yeah, and you know, now I'm in my 60s, so you know, I have to behave like a little bit like I'm in my 60s. I'm still crazy. I mean, I still do crazy things.
Yeah, I understand that.
But not particularly on the road after shows. I save it for when I'm riding my motorcycle back home.
Yeah. Do you still ride a motorcycle?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. I'm sure you do. Well, you were too young when the animals come together, and when the animals climb up to the top of the world. Was it bad to be young at this time? Or was it good? Sometimes young people, when they do have all this success, they get crazy. You didn't.
Well, when I look back, especially after writing a couple of books about my own background, I realized that I had so much freedom as a teenager. As an art student, I could do what I wanted, and I could go where I wanted, and that's what I did. I traveled. The world was a much bigger place then. Now it's easier to get to places, but to travel from my hometown to Paris, for instance, when I was 17 years of age, that was a long way to go. And Spain also, and I fell in love with Spain instantly. I fell in love with Paris because there was a sense of violence there. There was a sense of danger there, and revolution that didn't exist in England.
And it's the age that makes that feel great. It makes it feel big.
Yeah, and there was a lot of great American musicians there that they had run away from the American system of racism, and maybe they had been caught using drugs or whatever, so they couldn't get the permission to work in America, so they came to Paris. And I met a lot of great American musicians in Paris. Plus, there was a revolution. There was a real revolution going on. The army were trying to take over the country because of the Algerian problems. And back then, I had no fear. I mean, it wouldn't be the same today. I'd be afraid to go to places like that today. But back then, I just I didn't care.
Okay, 2 more questions. First, some say that when history repeats itself, it comes as a joke. When you reconnected the animals, do you have that in mind that it could be like a joke?
Oh yeah, I never wanted to reunite the animals. They had to force me to do it, and I hated every moment of it. It was one of the worst experiences of my life.
So they called you, I read it somewhere, they called you the white man with black voice. I read it somewhere written. Do you feel black or white?
I feel somewhat stateless.
Stateless?
Not hopeless, but stateless. I have very little connection with my homeland, with England. I don't think I had in the first place. That's why I started traveling really early. And I fell in love with California, but I've watched California change and go down. And I watched America go down, and it's going further down. But you can have a lot of fun when something's going down. It's easier to live in a place that's going down than have it to build it up. So, do you ever imagine yourself with having nothing to do with singing? Do you ever think that I will stop singing, will stop having concerts and giving concerts and all this stuff? I could stop tomorrow if the audiences would let me, if my life would let me.
I don't think this will gonna happen. Not for the life. It happens to everyone, but for the audience. you're still very popular in Greece. Very, very
Well,
popular.
yeah, I feel that I continue because I feel that I have not completed my job.
Okay.
It's an incomplete job.
We hope it will never be completed.
Yeah, and I also honestly feel that I'm making better records today than I ever did before. I'm singing better today than I ever did before. That's why I'm doing this little experiment here with the trio instead of a big full-on rock and roll band.
Okay. I don't want to bother you anymore. Thank you very, very much for this little conversation.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Wish you good luck, but I feel it's going to happen.
Thank you. Nice to be back in Greece again.
Okay, it's the 4th time in Greece, as I
I've
remember.
been
You don't
here
remember?
many times.
Many times, but for concerts, I think that's just 3 or 4.
Well, I first came to Greece in 1970. Well, when Melina Mercouri was government minister.
Culture,
That's when I first came here.
Okay, thank you very much again. I said the people around that they want to grab you and take you out.
Okay.
So, thank you very much.
All right, thanks.
Bye again.
Bye.
Το γήπεδο, και αυτό θα πρέπει να κάνει ο Θωμάς για όσο χρόνο ακόμα θα αγωνίζεται και στην ΑΕΛ αλλά και μέχρι να τελειώσει την ποδοσφαιρική του καριέρα.
Τι θέλετε να το ευχηθείτε?
Καταρχήν αυτό το πιο σημαντικό.